Hey, this is Tomas from okisnotenough.com, helping you become the best version of yourself and create a more exciting and more fulfilling life. And in this video, we'll be talking about ghosting and why you should never do it. So let's talk about ghosting. Ghosting is usually talked about in relation to dating, but it's also happening in friendships, in business, and other kinds of relationships. So ghosting is when a person ignores or cuts off all communication, whether phone calls, text messages, social media, or face-to-face interaction with their friends, colleagues, or peers, or the person that they're dating, without any warning or explanation. Chances are that you've been ghosted in the past, or maybe you've ghosted someone. But ghosting is really bad for many reasons. And in this video, I want to share with you the impact of ghosting and why you should never do it. With that said, what I will share with you applies to ordinary life scenarios where maybe you are thinking to ghost someone, to disappear, rather than having the talk or some other kind of uncomfortable conversation. These tips don't apply to extreme situations such as stalking or abuse. If this is what's happening to you, then you should contact the right authorities. Now, let's talk about the 4 reasons why you should never ghost someone and why it's a really short-sighted way of dealing with the situation. The first reason why you should never ghost someone is because of how it makes you look. Don't think for a second that disappearing makes you look better than saying what needs to be said. If you've ghosted someone in the past, you know how it made you think about the other person. Ghosting makes you look weak, without respect for the other person, probably without respect for yourself as well, narcissistic, insensitive, and the list can go on and on. If you no longer want to see the other person or communicate with them, hey, muster up some courage and tell them what's going on. Do it without blaming, without drama, do it respectfully, but say what needs to be said. You may not be liked for that, but at least you will be respected because you're showing respect to the other person. When you ghost someone, you're not being liked and you're not being respected either. The second reason why you should never ghost someone is because you never know what damage you're making. On top of caring of how ghosting makes you look, you should also be mindful about what impact you're potentially making on the person you'd be ghosting. Whether it's in dating, in friendship, or in business, ghosting can be pretty harmful. It makes people feel disrespected, less worthy, or even disposable. Why? Because ghosting is actually a form of social rejection. Research shows that it activates the same pain pathways in the brain as the actual physical pain. Our brain continuously monitors our social standing and then communicates that situation back to us through feelings and emotions of self-worth and self-esteem. When we are being rejected or ghosted, the low feeling that we experience is meant to be a signal to us that our social standing has decreased. Apart from this, there is also a psychological impact as well. When you ghost someone and just disappear without explanation, you giving them no clue about why you've done so, and therefore they have no idea how to react to that. And this creates the ultimate scenario of ambiguity. And because our brain doesn't like ambiguity, it will try to resolve it by coming up with all kinds of scenarios why that might have happened and how to fix it. Should they be worried? What if something happened to you? Should they be angry? What if you just took off and disappeared? Is it something you just do, or is it something they did? Hey, the list could go on and on. The worst aspect of ghosting is that it not only makes them question the quality and genuineness of the relationship. If you ghost someone who has low self-esteem, they will most likely take the blame on themselves and receive yet another blow to their self-confidence. Because it's natural for people to ask themselves questions like, why didn't I see this coming? Was it something that I did? What's wrong with me? And you may think, well, hey, that's not my responsibility. Well, it kind of is, because you triggered it and you could be more grown up about it by being honest with them. The third reason why you should never ghost someone is because it's a wrong thing to do. If there is a personal or professional relationship that you no longer want to continue, whether it's because the feelings have changed, or you just changed your mind, or you got a different offer, or whatever it is, do the right thing and communicate that. You don't have to go to elaborate details why, unless they ask you to, but sometimes the right feedback can really help someone out. They can learn from it, they can grow, but more importantly, they can finally close the chapter and move on rather than thinking and obsessing about it for ages. And you can feel like you've dealt with it as a grown-up with principles. And the fourth reason why you should never ghost someone is because how it makes you feel about yourself. I know that dealing with the situation and having the talk is usually the more uncomfortable option. But when it's all over, you can look in the mirror and feel good about yourself because you've done the right thing. You face the challenge rather than chickening out and letting other people deal with it on their own. And these actions really add to your character and to your level of self-confidence and self-worth. And when you do something like that, you're actually encouraging the right principles in you. So always do the right thing and face the situation, have the uncomfortable conversation, have the talk, because when you ghost someone, when you just disappear, it can really make a lot of damage, not just to the person emotionally, but also to your reputation and to how people see you. You can burn bridges that you might actually need in the future. So these are my 4 reasons why you should never ghost someone. Hey, I'm really interested about whether you've been ghosted in the past or whether you ghosted someone, and maybe also what would be other good reasons to put on this list. So hey, leave me a comment in the comment section. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button with the little bell so you get notifications when I release next videos. And thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your attention and I look forward to seeing you on the next video.